Nevada's efforts to reduce the backlog of more than 7,000 rape kits has become an issue in the race for governor in a pair of hard-hitting new attack ads leveled at Democrat Steve Sisolak.
Now, Republican Attorney General Adam Laxalt led the effort to reduce the backlog and is contending that Sisolak didn't do anything as the list of untested kits grew in Clark County. Politics Now co-host Steve Sebelius has been digging into this issue. Steve?
Well, Brian and Christiane, these are probably the most brutal ads I have seen in this race so far. The ads play on Laxalt's success in reducing the backlog. More than 6,300 kits have been sent for testing since he took over in 2014, with nearly 5,000 finished tests. According to the Attorney General's office, 12 people have been arrested as a result of the testing. Now, in this ad, the Laxalt campaign accuses Sisolak of ignoring the growing problem as a Clark County commissioner.
Under his watch, Steve Sisolak allowed the number of untested rape kits in Clark County to increase by more than 3,000. 3,000.
It's true the number of untested kits did grow, although in some cases the kits weren't needed for prosecution or the case lacked a cooperative witness. Even former First Assistant Attorney General Wes Duncan said at a Republican Women's Club meeting in 2016 that the more viable cases were always moved to the front of the line. And Laxalt himself acknowledged at a town hall meeting in 2016 that the main reason the backlog grew was funding. He was able to overcome that problem by taking advantage of a federal grant and money from a legal settlement to increase the pace of testing and offset the cost to local agencies. Still, a Laxalt campaign spokesman said it's a matter of priorities. The county's budget is more than $1 billion, and if Sisolak had wanted to make rape kit testing a priority, he could have. But the Metro Police Officers Union, which has endorsed Sisolak, said Laxalt shouldn't take credit for fixing the backlog when it was the result of efforts of many people and organizations. But that ad gets even more brutal.
At the same time, Sisolak cut funding for rape victims' counseling services in Clark County. Rape victims clearly weren't a priority to Steve Sisolak. We'll never know how many violent criminals got away with rape, but we do know who to blame, Mr. Sisolak.
Now, that charge about the cuts in the budget is technically correct, but actually not true. The commission did approve a budget with $50,000 cut in counseling services for fiscal year 2015, but actual spending between 2014 and 2015 increased by more than $400,000. A Clark County spokesman said no rape victims who needed counseling services were ever turned away, and the county covered the cost that exceeded its budget. Now, for its part, the Sisolak campaign called the ad tasteless and wildly misleading and maintained that Laxalt's record on women's issues is weak. Laxalt was criticized, for example, for waiting to reject the endorsement of a rural Nevada sheriff who had been accused of sexual misconduct until after his office completed an investigation that did not result in charges. Now, the ad is running on TV and in digital form up in Reno, and there's a good reason for that. A recent poll conducted by the Reno Gazette-Journal found Sisolak and Laxalt virtually tied in Washoe County, where Laxalt needs to boost his turnout in order to blunt the impact of Democrat-rich Clark County. So we'll be seeing that ad a little more.
And that is from the Laxalt campaign?
Yes, those are from Laxalt for Governor campaign.
Wow. We will be right back.